Hey guys, Creed Frags 34 here. Gonna do a review for you. Remember those days, guys? Remember me, shaking the camera a little bit? Couldn't keep it steady? Alright. Thank you guys for joining me for another review. Rise Frags 34. I appreciate it. As always, thank you for subscribing, watching. This one, guys, I know it's long overdue for a Creed review. I started Creed Frags 34. I changed my name to Rise Frags 34, but Creed obviously still definitely one of my favorite houses, and I just love the easy wearings of them. You can grab pretty much any Creed and be set for the day. You're gonna get compliments. Like I said, always has that fresh vibe. They're just known for that strong ambergris DNA. Just a very excellent house, and you just really can't go wrong with any of their scents. So still Creed is one of my favorites. But getting on with this one is Bois de Portugal. This one is definitely that, I guess, just that older, mature, Frank Sinatra. He's the one who basically wore this fragrance, I guess back in the day, as they say. And, when you smell this one, you definitely think of a Frank Sinatra scent, him walking past you, and you can just smell this off of him. This is, from 1987, so it's definitely kind of got that powerhouse, 80s, vibe to it. But it does turn into something pretty special as well. So, and I am a big fan of the 80s powerhouses, the Porfume. There's a lot of the discontinued, powerhouse fragrances that are still great today if you can find them. So, and this one kind of is in that same genre. So, but this one was brought to us in 1987. Creed, perfumers Olivier Creed, of course. Notes, I'm going to try and remember these. Top notes are bergamot. Middle note is lavender. Then you have cedar, ambergris, and sandalwood. I think I'm missing one in there, and vetiver. So basically, you do get these notes. Starting off with the first blast, you do get this like kind of a bitter bergamot lemon smell, and that kind of holds through most of the scent. But what happens after a good half an hour, when it does start to dry down, just beautiful kind of this, not really dirty, but a nice sandalwood, kind of woody, you get some pine chips in there, like cedar chips, and it does kind of get like that dry, kind of like the sawdust kind of smell to it. But the sandalwood kind of does smoothen it out a little bit too, so you kind of get some of that little bit of the bitter vetiver and that cedar in there, but it kind of smoothens out with the sandalwood towards that dry down. It really makes it a really nice fragrance. And then also, with all that kind of together, the lavender kind of shines through this one as well. So you do kind of have that barbershop scent to it as well with this one, which I do like. I love that, because it kind of leaves a clean scent, but it still has kind of some of that ballsiness to it, as well, with the kind of that powerhouse, with the vetiver, the cedar, and things like that, and that strong bergamot too, in the opening and all that. But excellent blended fragrance. Again, age groups, this is definitely 30 to 35 and up. I could definitely see like a man, 40s, 50s, 60s, really rocking this stuff, because it does smell good. What's crazy about this fragrance, I understand Jennifer Love Hewitt wears this. I'm not sure if it's like a signature scent for her, but she wears it. So that's another great thing about fragrances, the diversity of whoever wears these fragrances, So definitely, I know a woman could pull this one off as well, because it does have that really nice sandalwood dry down. It is a sandalwood based fragrance, So just a really nice fragrance from Creed. Definitely kind of underrated. Definitely not my favorite, and it's not going to be a massive, compliment getter and, all the crazy stuff with the whole Aventus and things like that. But it's just a great, very mature and very, classy, sophisticated. Like I said, I can see a man in his suit or a tuxedo kind of wearing this kind of an upscale event, or, kind of an upper class, kind of deal with that. So, but presentation, as we all know, with the Creeds, make sure you guys, they fake these so well. As you guys know, there's been tons of videos on it, but just make sure the the tags are right in there. And make sure you get all the nice, the paperwork kind of makes it, makes you kind of feel better too about being legit. Some people do throw these away, but I always keep my stuff. I love the boxes, and I keep on to it. So make sure that little folded paper, that's the original Creed fold in there. So you have to have that, obviously, to have it, authentic. But now serial numbers and stuff too are on the bottles. They're important. Obviously, you want them to match the box. But sometimes they do rub off, or if, God forbid, some of the fragrance does leak a little bit onto the bottle, it may rub off. So if you do, search for a Creed fragrance or a Creed bottle, don't be totally surprised if it's not, if it doesn't have, because sometimes there is ink on the bottom. They're not all etched. So there'll be ink batch numbers. So if you don't see one, don't freak out and be like, no, it doesn't have a batch number, because they do come off. I do have a couple bottles. It actually happened with my Neroli Sauvage, which is an old vintage bottle that I had, and the sprayer's kind of not working as well, and it kind of leaks a little bit, and it came down, and right off the back it kind of just rubbed off all of the serial numbers. So don't let that alarm you. But here's the box. The tag kind of ripped off there a little bit, but you do still see the serial number. This is actually a 2011 batch. There's your box. Again, I'm not too pleased with Creed boxes, but the bottles are so nice, and the fragrances, you gotta love them. So this has that nice felt, for the title Bois de Portugal. You have that. Also, the bottle will match that as well, which is right here. Now this is a bottle I just purchased last year. I did have a half full 2.5 ounce, but this is the 4.0. I like this one because most of my bottles are the 4.0s, and I like to have them all lined up, together. But so I got the 4.0. This is a vintage kind of 2011 bottle, but also you have that nice felt in there as well, which is real nice. And then, like I said, here, this one is also, I really hope you guys can see that, but it's not etched. It's actually just stamped at the bottom, with ink or whatever they use. So, be careful. Sometimes that does rub off. Caps, they don't stick on as nice, but they do. If you get into real Creeds, they do kind of hold on to it pretty nice. The sprayers are amazing with these. I mean, look at that long spray. It's just crazy. I love the sprayers on these. Make sure even the caps, they fake a lot. So kind of keep your eyes peeled for those. And then, of course, the Creed up here too. So hopefully you can see that if it comes into focus. I'll show you the newer bottle is going to look like this. This is my Royal Mayfair bottle, and same bottle, same size, everything, but the caps are going to be different, and of course your sprayer is different as well. Now they have a little clip on there that'll actually snap on there, and it'll hold pretty well. So, but the sprayers still distribute pretty much, the same kind of. They do more of like a bigger spread versus the long spray, which I love the older bottles. I love that spray. I mean, I don't know why they went away with that, because that was kind of like their signature spray. But again, the main thing is the juice, of course. Bois de Portugal, just a great release from Creed. Definitely underrated, and again, it's not a crazy compliment getter, but wow, God, stuff smells amazing. I mean, this is like a masterpiece, like from the 80s. You know what I mean? Like one of the, like a Petot Pour Homme is definitely a masterpiece. And I think this one kind of falls right in that same league of being that kind of that 80s powerhouse that's not going to ever, leave. It's never going to be a bad fragrance. It's always going to be a good one. So, and I really appreciate it now that I'm, kind of getting up to that 40 mark, unfortunately, but that means I'm still here, so that's good. But that 40 mark, and it's just I can appreciate this fragrance a lot more now as well. So, but again, thank you guys so much. Thanks to all you Creed lovers out there that have been bearing with me. I've gotten so many other fragrances, and I'm really loving everything. And I have been kind of neglecting my Creeds, but I do have a lot more Creeds that I do want to review coming up soon. So stick with me with that. I'm going to probably do like a Creed collection video, to show you some of my stuff. But I have some really nice stuff in there that I definitely want to review, because I do love them and I do still wear them, even though I don't do a lot of reviews on them. But all right, guys. But thank you so much again. I really, really appreciate everything, and thank you so much for subscribing and watching and just giving me the support that you guys always do. I really appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon.